So this item has been on my bucket list for years and years and years. When I was a kid, I kind of wanted to, spend the night in a museum or even get locked at a mall, and you have to sleep in the bed at Sears. So I'm super excited that I get to check off this item of my bucket list at one of Canada's own bunkers. Like, how awesome is this? I'm actually going to be spending the night in the Defen bunker. All night in the Defen bunker. Brought my flashlight. Hello. I guess I go through here. Hello? I giggle when I'm nervous. I'm kind of getting nervous. Anybody here? Where do I go? Oh yeah, this is creepy. Decontamination. Okay. Do I really have to take a shower? I guess that's to see if I'm okay. And I guess I'm okay because it's not sounding off. So I think now I can go into the museum. Hello? Hi.
Hello.
That was a spooky entrance.
Welcome to the Defen bunker.
I'm Kim.
I'm Brendan.
So I basically went through the main entrance door.
Yeah.
And then I went through the showers.
Yeah, people would have to go through the decontamination room. So what they do is they go through that first shower that you went in through with the clothes on. That traps all that kind of nuclear dust to the body so that when you take those clothes off, it doesn't go into the air. If you're not an acceptable limit, you have to go through this process again.
Again?
Yeah. There's no third time's a charm though. You're after that, if you're still at an unacceptable limit, you're given some temporary clothing, ration pack,
and you're
then you're sent out the door. The whole idea behind the facility is continuity of government, right?
Yeah.
And military as well.
So how many floors? What's in the Defen bunker? Are you going to give me a tour?
Yeah, I'll bring you around. We're 4 floors. We're currently on the 400 level, and it goes all the way down to the 100 level, which is the lower limits of the bunker itself.
Okay, well, let's start this tour. Do I still need my flashlight?
It's always a good thing to have on hand. You never know what's going to happen, so we can continue on going down towards the medical center if you'd like.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go. Now this is old school.
Much of the facility is set up as much as possible like it was when it was in operation. This is a medical facility though, and there's some interesting things about this is that when that blast wave hits, that's going to rock the facility, and the facility's designed to kind of shift and move around in a couple of inches in any direction. So you have to ensure that everything stays in place. People don't fall out of the beds, which is why they're tied to the ground.
Yeah.
The lights above the beds there are pretty much the exact same kind of lights you'll see in a submarine. They're shockproof. So a couple of things that you're going to be dealing with coming into the facility like this is there's a possibility of claustrophobia. Obviously, it's really closed-in quarters, and if you're not going to be able to deal with that, you're going to be put into confinement, which is in here.
There's someone in there. There's someone in there. That's not where I'm sleeping tonight. No? No?
Their beds are actually very comfortable.
I don't want to be in confinement with him.
So we're going to go into the computer room now.
Not the computers of today.
No, this room is called OSAX, or Ottawa Semi-Automatic Exchange. It was so secret in here that even the commanding officer of the facility wasn't allowed in here.
Okay.
So it's entirely encased in the metal that you see on those pillars there. It's a Faraday cage, and that means that it's completely shut in. So airwaves can't get out, nor can they get in, so people couldn't spy and information couldn't get out. Typical of these old computer rooms as well is the raised floor. If there were a fire in here, or if someone were in here at a time when they weren't supposed to be and they were stealing information, they'd shoot a gas called halon gas into the air. That sucks all oxygen from the air. That would put out the fire and put out the breach of security.
Wow.
We have the Prime Minister's suite here.
Ooh.
The first area is the Secretary's office for the Prime Minister, and then the Prime Minister's suite.
Sweet.
When this place was decommissioned in 1994, it was completely gutted. So a lot of this stuff was taken out, but some of this stuff stayed in people's basements or attics.
And then they just gave it back?
Yeah, so this is the original desk and chair, and then in the Prime Minister's suite, that's the original bed.
Wow, that is cool. You know, I saw that you guys even brought my suitcases in.
Yep.
Is this where I get to sleep?
You can if you want.
I want to be the
Camp
head
out if you'd
honcho.
like. So now we're going to head down towards the cafeteria. You get the feeling that you can
Ping
be a little bit more
pong,
open in here.
darts, poker.
Yeah, so recreational area and then feeding room.
This is so cool.
During an actual lockdown, they had about 7 days of fresh food. After that, they'd be going towards those ration packs. Hence our nice little sign over there. You're lucky to be alive, so just eat it. During that 30-day lockdown, like I mentioned, there is a possibility that someone could have passed away. So they needed a place to put them. So right next to your vegetables and your meat and your breads, you'd have possibly a body sitting there. It's kind of a worst case scenario idea, but it is a possibility that it could have happened.
I'm not sleeping in here.
On that note, we're heading in towards one of the coldest places in the bunker, which is the Bank of Canada vault.
Ooh. Is this where I get to check off my bucket list item of rolling in $1 million?
Unfortunately, no. No money was ever here. Canada was on the gold standard up until I believe it was 1971, which is why they had to build this vault. So again, along with all those other aspects of, ensuring that Canada could survive and come out of a nuclear war and still be, a country, they would have stored those 800 tons of gold here.
So this would have been full gold.
Actually, what's really interesting about it is that 800 tons of gold would have only filled one wall about 10 feet high and maybe it's about 42 centimeters out or 42 inches out, I can't remember which one. It's a very, very small amount of the place would have actually had all that gold in it.
This would have been cold enough for the morgue.
Yes, it would have been actually. Where we're going to next is called the Forgotten Room.
Was it actually forgotten?
Well, it kind of was. They forgot to take everything out of it. So it's still set up the same way it was in 1994 when it was decommissioned. So this is another area, if you'd like to, you could snooze down here in the Forgotten Room for the night.
I don't mind sleeping in here. It is past midnight and time for little Kimmy to go to bed. But how unbelievable that I get to sleep in the lost room at the Defen bunker. I think I can officially say that before I kick the bucket, I slept in a museum. A very unique museum. And a spooky one too. I hope nothing happens.
The problem with people is they're always on the run. Too busy to remember, they forget to have fun. Can't be healthy working longer hours than the sun. They tell me they can't stop the talk, there's too much to get done. Just slow things down. I live my life by a broken clock. I'm right twice a day. I never have to worry when other folks are running.
I hope you don't snore.
They're always wrong and always in a hurry, baby.
A lot tougher than I thought.